Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Railway Cottage. I thought I'd just show you where I'm up to with Home is Where the Heart Is slow stitch quilt. As you can see, I still don't have any floor down here, so just ignore the horrible concrete. I have 7 finished panels on my design wall. Everything on the wall is complete, so all of these panels are individually made. They're about 26 inches by 26 inches. Stitched onto either vintage sheeting or vintage doona covers that I found that are 100% cotton. And these are all ready to be stitched together. So I've got the top row. I'll zoom out a bit. Sorry, the light's not very good. The middle row is complete, and I am down to the bottom row. So this little guy down here is finished. I'm currently working on this one, and this one has got nothing done yet. So I'm going to finish this weekend. That's my mission in life, because I really want to start on the Roxy Girls Volume 8, and I'm not letting myself start until I am finished. Just a close-up, I don't think I could fit another thing. Ooh, or can I? On. So these are good. I'm really happy with all of those. I'm really happy with the way that the bunting just kind of disappears across all of the pieces, but then you see it and it pulls it all together. So I'll just take you for a walk. Sorry to make you seasick. I'm going to turn you around. You can see my sewing room has expanded down to there, but I haven't got finished walls yet. I do have walls though, so that's exciting. And I'm waiting for a light and a window. And because there at the end, up there, that's the toilet cistern from upstairs. So I want to get that boxed in and preferably insulated with something. So out into the other part of my room, and I am working on my table at the moment with block number 8. I want to pop you up here. Hold on a minute. Onto my little stand. Hold tight while I just tie you in. And I might have to pull you out a bit so that you can see, because again, this is a 26-inch block. So you're going high. Hold on. More. Let's see if I can zoom in. That might do me for now. So this is where I'm up to on this one. All of the background fabrics are down. I might just pull you up one more little knobble. Hang on a sec. Yeah, I'm pulling the wrong knobble. Well, I just have to get up on my chair to see if you can see. You can see it's a very professional studio set up, very much a home system. Let's see, pull you over here a bit. There we go. Okay, ready to work. So I'm going to do some work on this little piece this afternoon. All of the backing's down. I have a few little parts of the second layer, but it's pretty much blank. I do have a few treasures that I've inherited over the last little bit that I know I want to put on this one. The first is this little heart. I did purchase some things at the Gympie Heritage Craft Fair, and one of the makers popped this in the little bag with a little note. Did I lose the note? Where did I put the note? Here it is. Hold on. Don't wander off. It says, sharing a pocket heart for kindness, lovingly made from a selection of weathered and torn vintage quilts I purchased in 2019 from the Houston Quilt Festival. Yours to keep or give. So I think that should be on my quilt. So I'm going to make that into a little brooch, I think, or a dangly, probably just a little hangy off bit. Make that into a little brooch, and that can hang on my quilt as well. I have this lovely thing, whatever it is, a doily, made or inherited from Lorraine. So I want to cut this out, and I want to use some of this yellow edging. I really like doilies that have coloured edges. Not easy to get, so grab them when you see them. So I'm going to start by probably pinning on the next layer, and then once I'm pretty happy with that, I will start stitching a whole heap of things down. So I'm going to pull out a few pieces. I want to use this gorgeous bit of lace. It's the last bit of that I have. And look, I do randomly have a fish that I made. I don't know, just that happened. No more of that stuff. I had a massive clean out of my sewing room, of my studio, in the last weekend of the holidays. I was very lucky to spend 4 days down at Harvey Bay with Corinne from To Be Loved Treasures and do her retreat, which was really great fun. slow stitching retreat, and I met lots of lovely stitchy people. I'm a bit on my own up here in Bundy. There's one lady that I've met who we've had coffee once, and I hope to see her again. I'm sure we'll have a stitchy day here at some point. But it's really hard to find people to play with. So it was nice to go and spend 4 days with people who are as tragic as I am about old stuff and slow stitching. So I got to meet lots of lovely people, including the Roxy girls, who were just so lovely and giving and generous. And some of you have probably ended up on my channel because of the fact that they had a chat about me. So thank you, ladies. I appreciate it. And if you're new, welcome to Railway Cottage. I'm very much not professional. I am a bit inconsistent with my videos because I work full time and have 3 kids. So I just try to keep you in the loop when I do get a chance to do some stitching. So this is another doily that I picked up at the Gympie Heritage Craft Quilt Fair. And look, it was okay, the Craft Quilt Fair. I was a bit disappointed in the number of vendors. But, you know, it's a big deal to pack up a whole heap of stuff and go to a regional event. I get it. So I'm just preparing some bits. Not being too fussy because, you know, I don't want them to be cut out neatly. I just don't want any kind of sharp edges at the moment. Just a bit more. And I love doilies with coloured edges. Don't know why. So this layer is about infill. So I'm looking for places that I need to balance. If you're looking at the whole thing as a color composition, I've got pretty much 3 bright patches here. 1, 2, 3. That's why it's balanced. I've got some dark, which is kind of the little black bit here. I've got this dark bit here as well. So just making sure that it stands alone as a composition, that it's balanced, and that it doesn't, you know, your eye has a chance to rest. I think one of the girls said to me that these beautiful vintage needle points and long stitches tend to be the place that your eye rests in my work. So there will be lots more go on here, but it will be done in a way that it still hopefully looks great and has some composition. So I've done a massive cleanup, so God knows if I'll actually find everything I'm looking for now till I get into my new routine. I'll tell you what I have made. I made this cover, this journal cover for my school diary, but I've pulled it off my school diary, and I've actually created, I was watching on Supergoof, fabulous Dutch quilting Instagram page, Supergoof, and she does the most beautiful handwork of quilts and bits and pieces. And she had this fabulous book where she was keeping her quilt blocks that were in progress but not stitched together. So there's a few things online that I found called a quilt block keeper. It's a mouthful, but I wanted somewhere for all of my little bits of fabric that have got images and bits and pieces that I can get at, because before I had them in trays and they kind of ended up looking like this. And so what happens is I just put something on top of it and then just move on to the next thing. So I was looking for a way to keep all my images out, so I could go and find what I wanted and actually not miss things that I have. So all I've done is I had this fabric, it was given to me, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't stick. So the fabric's not sticking to it. So all I've done is done pages alternating of wadding and this. And then between each page, and I haven't stitched these together, I have put my images. So I've done birds, there's my butterflies, so you can turn the page and they all just stick. I've done some fruit, like that, there's my little pears. So I've kind of just done it as 3 bits for now. I need to actually sew it all together as one book. There's some Margaret Sampson George little puppy dogs. So you can see how easy it is to find what you want. And also they're not all squished and lost. So I've just filled this, well, put some things in it yesterday. And I'm excited to see if it makes my life a bit easier when I don't have a lot of time to sew. So again, this isn't my idea. There's lots of ideas for quilt block keepers online, but I thought that was a perfect tool or perfect little accessory to use for slow stitches, particularly when you use a lot of images like I do. A lot of images from Toiles, a lot of images from the Kathy Holden fabrics and the Tim Holtz fabrics, lots of little embroideries and bits from chinoiserie. So that's my, where I'm not even going to know what I'm going to call that yet. That's where all my bits are. I'm not quite ready for them yet, so let's start with, I'm going to start with this yellow because it's talking to me. I wonder who made this. Eh? I always hope the maker would be happy that their work has been found and reused. So this is double. Oh, look at that. It's on one side. I wonder what it was. Oh, I'm probably going to need one side of that. I do love the yellow border, but I think the flower is too far away from the border for me to utilise. So I'm actually going to cut the border off and use the border on its own. And I always use big scissors. I can hear someone saying, why is she using such big scissors? Always use big scissors. That's just how I roll into here. I'm pretty loose. So these are a great colour addition to this page. I don't have a lot of yellow. I have some. So it will help to have some somewhere else. Always try to work in threes. Not three things that match, but three things that balance. Otherwise it's just all a bit overwhelming. Your eyes start to water a bit. Okay, as you can see, very loosely cut out. No, I'm not going to iron it. I don't do ironing. I like it that way. So as you can see, I've got yellow, nowhere else. Yellow, yellow, a little bit of yellow there. I kind of feel like this bit needs to either be in the bottom corner. I also have this piece. So you need to be here, my friend. Quite like that. So a good tip for your slow stitching, when someone asks how do you get to all the different parts of it, I do all of my pinning horizontally so that when I want to access a part of this panel, I can just roll it up to that part from both sides and get at it without stabbing myself or moving a whole heap of bits and pieces out or stabbing myself like that. I like this, that it's sort of sheer and you can see the doily underneath. So, yep, all the pins that way. Now I've got this little guy left. I'll just check, can you see all the way to here? Let's push you that way a bit. Can you zoom out a bit more? No, that's it. So I have this little guy left. I'm going to pop him maybe even over here. Nope. I need to tuck him. Might be tucked up that way. Maybe even just here. Let's have a look if he should be tucked here. Don't overthink it, hey? Lovely. It is Wednesday afternoon up here in Bundaberg. I think it was 25 degrees today. It's the middle of July. Ridiculous. I was quite looking forward to some cold weather. So you see, that's just subtle, but there's that bit of yellow, and then I can pop this little bit possibly here. I feel like I want it to run the opposite way. That's too close. might work just here, or just along the bottom there. Yes, that works for me. I'm just going to go again. Can you see, where am I? Over here. Pull you up a bit. There we go. Pull this across. I'm just going to hop up on my chair and pull you up another notch, which isn't ideal, but it's the only way you can see everything. So hold tight. I'm going up again. Oh, or am I? No, that's as far as I go. See where I'm up to. All right. I'm going to work down here now. Hopefully you can see that. So I've decided to put that this way here. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. So I've kept this as the double layer because obviously the maker has stitched the two together to form the edge. That's good. I don't mind that. I don't mind that it's a little bit more dense than this one. Makes it a little bit more interesting. So that's on there. I'm kind of looking for layers and tucks and ways to make it more interesting, but you can't quite work out why it's interesting. That makes sense. I don't like that you can't see it all. We're not bad there. See that all if I don't move it now. There we go. Sorry, team. So I do have this gorgeous red doily that also will find a home on here somewhere. Sometimes if I'm not sure where to put something, I'll just cut it. And then that will help me make a decision. See, I've got this lovely red edge here. All this cleaning up means I don't know where everything is. I'm going to, quite like that side as well. I think I'm going to use some of both. I'm not going to overthink it. I'm just going to cut there without having any idea what I'm going to do with it. And then I'm going to go play. I feel like it needs to go up here. I feel like it needs to go. I'm feeling this big gap here at the moment. So either here, in case I lose that, which I don't want to do, here, yeah, I'm just going to put it, I'm going to turn it around, just like that. Don't like that it's in the middle. Just going to cut that a little bit more. And it will fray, that's perfect. So home is where the heart is about all the things that make a house a home, all the things that have made various places that I've lived homes, because I've lived in lots of places, most memorably in pubs for 12 years. That was what we did. We ran pubs for a long time in the UK. Okay, so I feel like I want to just create like a little petal kind of thing here. Tuck her in somewhere. No, not up there. Not bad. Do I want the red on top? Yes, I do. Just going to see if I can tuck that a bit lower. Where'd my pin go? There we go. No, not doing it for me. It's the wrong shape. Too straight. Better? Yes, that's better. What do you think? Okay, he's there. Pin him in. So usually I kind of have maybe three layers, the background, first row. This is the second, which is usually a lot of stuff, and the third layer is usually some stuff, a little bit of stuff, and lots of stitching. Lots of stitching to highlight or to show, send your attention in a particular direction. Let's have a look here. These are all my little bits of doilies that are flowers ready to go. I do have some of these, which I think will fit in that little flower garden nicely. And I just want to place this so the pointy bit is in the pointy bit. So I get the maximum value of both parts. Perfect. Now I do have this one, isn't that gorgeous? Blue. This is what I'm after, this pink. I have a blue version and a pink version. I think I have 3 pieces. Let me just keep digging. Digging. Nope. Can you see it? Can't see it. Well, maybe I've used one. Okay, I have 2. Forget what I said. I have 2. I've got this beautiful old bit of doily, which is just as spectacular on each side. Isn't that? Look at that. That would be just a most fabulous window box. Do that. Window box there. Maybe that's the door though, I do think. Maybe up there. Who needs a door? I do think that's a door though. Yeah, changed my mind. I really like this old flower. I don't want to cover him. I need a few more points of interest, so I'm going to get the new book out. How exciting. I need a bird. I like these little guys. They came from a Christmas thing I picked up, all 12 days of Christmas all embroidered. So of course I've pulled them apart. Want any of you? I like the little red bee. Birdhouse. Now I'm going to use those. I'm going to use one of these. These are from Lorraine. How gorgeous are they? Thank you, Lorraine. I need both, not sure. And of course I'm going to need a leopard skin dog. I think it's a dog. That's a Margaret Sampson George shape. You can see here these little bits are left with. I've got a squirrel, some snails, all sorts of bits and pieces. Just seeing what else I want to grab while I'm here. Not an elephant today. Home is where the heart is. None of those things. I like the big thing of flowers. And that will probably do me. Look at my little book doing its thing. And I will stitch all these together, bind them. I just, lost interest and moved on to something else. What I've just picked up. So I'm going to make myself clean up as I go now. That's my new rule, because I do get into a massive mess. And I'm not alone. I know you're out there saying yes, so do I. So I don't feel too bad, but it makes it a bit hard to work sometimes. I'm going to put the things I'm not using back, things I want to use out, the rubbish in the bin. I'm not sure about the fish, but we'll come back to the fish. Let's start with my little birdies. Birdie, I only picked one out. Came off a Christmas thing, so I'm actually just going to cut that off so you can't tell that it's Christmas. It's not Christmas in my house. You can just live there. Somebody asked me if I sew through everything. Yes, I do sew through all the layers most of the time. Only very rarely do I not, and that way I know that it's not going to fall forward. It's not going to get all puckered. Red bee in the flower garden, perhaps. Oh, here's my other flowers. So if you put stuff on top, it's very easy to lose it. I'm going to cut that a bit straight. No, I don't measure. Why slow stitching is perfect for me. Because there's no measuring, no cutting out of lines. What am I going to do with you? Up here? Nope. Okay. I thought I liked you long bit, but I don't. I want him to kind of be under one and on top of the next one. He's going to be under here, but on top of this one. See what I mean? That one's just not participating very well. Let's do the bigger things. Leopard skin dog. Hello. And you're saying that doesn't match. It does. If you love it, it matches. That's my belief. All of the stuff that you love goes together. It may not work on here, but that's okay. I'm looking at here, or down the bottom really, for this dog. Don't mind him there. Let's see what he looks like up here. Quite like him there. See, which I like. I like when you kind of don't see things on the first go. You are tucked under here, Rover. I think I would like him if he wasn't all there. You know what I mean? If it was just his front bits. This is this beautiful lace that's in the shape of bows. Isn't that gorgeous? I kind of don't want to lose that. It's special. I really like him there. I like him on top. Pull him down. No, I don't like that. Oh, he's not. Sorry, I'm not talking very loudly. Pull him down here a bit so that it's not, aligned, which is good too. No, didn't do it for me. And put him there. This beautiful old yo-yo hexagon piece here. Perfect. So let's have a look what else I've nicked off of there. Still got some lace. Still got a few big floral sticky out bits, and I have these two beautiful pairs. Now home is where the hexes are, of course. Home is where the pears are. I would love a pear tree. Unfortunately, they do not grow at Bundaberg. Not even close. But I do love these. Thank you, Lorraine. Yeah, now we're talking. Perfect. I want his bottom under there. No, I do not. Just like that. good. See, I've inadvertently done that without meaning to. One at each corner. Do I want two together? No, I don't think I do. Alrighty, let's have a look at this little flower vasey thing. This is from one of Kathy Holden's fabulous fabrics. Perfect. Again, don't overthink it. You could spend all day moving things around. Quite often I'll try a few places and generally I'll go back to the first place that I put it. Is usually the place that actually is the best choice. Okay, now we're cooking gas. So I have this little bird house. We have had various bird pets over the years, God help them. That's just sitting, so that's not there yet. I did have another long bit. What did I do with it? There's a blue one. There it is, yellow one. I think I might just put these in here. This bit needs a bit of something. Perfect. Perfect. It doesn't matter that it covers the things underneath because you see bits of them. And that's why I stitch in layers. There. And again, all of my pins are running horizontally. What's here? Okay, what else do I have? A few more flowers. I've gone a bit over the flowers. I'm going to need something else. And get my box of tricks out from over here. Now, here are the doilies that are underway. Doilies. So I'm looking for something that's not necessarily a flower. I do have. I've got the flower sack there. Let's have a look at you. Vintage hexies. Oh, I've got this beautiful heart that I made for a notebook years ago. I could bring that back out. This is some of that beautiful hexie. I'm a bit hexied out though. I've got a big one there and one there. Hexies. This is an embroidery, but I can't tell what letter it is. Do you think it's a J or an L or an I? I couldn't figure it out. Okay, so there's a lady. It's a Dutch lady. There's another Dutch lady. I'm saving her for something else though. I'm looking for one of my beautiful doilies had like a garden arch. I'm not sure if it's one that's cut or one that I need to cut. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Orange. That's not it, is it? No. I quite like that. I'm going to bring that and that. Again, not flowers. Or my Auntie Norma's dancing dress. These are all cut. And that's a pot holder that I cut in half. Look, I wanted the house. I think that the doily that I want, I haven't cut up yet. So I'm just going to go and find it. Where are you? And I've been so good. I've sorted all of my doilies. Have a look at this. Now, these boxes were out of my dad's shed. So it's really nice to reuse them. Look at this, how beautiful it is now that I've, haven't dug in it yet. So there is a doily in my possession that has a garden arch, and that is what I am looking for. So just, entertain yourself for a minute. No. I'll know it as soon as I see it. This is my small doily box. I have a big doily box. So this is it. This is all the doilies that I have. You might go, oh my God, that's heaps. But I actually go through so many doilies. Now this is a rooster. Let's have a look at him. He is really quite, I know it's not, it's butterfly. Where's the rooster one? There's a rooster one that's a bit wild. That's done in quite modern colours, but it might be good on here. Don't need that. Well, there's a garden, and these are all the ladies. I might get all the ladies out. All the ladies together. Another red one. Come on, people, where is the... I almost don't want to touch these. Oh, these are the square ones. Gate. Can't see him. Look at that, isn't that cool? It's like a Mexican dancer. Or, oh, look, I love that though. I'm going to use that little heart. Is it in that box? No. Let me find the other box. This is the box of big doilies. Look how good I was. I folded them all up, made them fit. Just love this one. Look at this. I'm going to have to use you even though you're more flowers. Just love that. Chunkiness of it and the colour of the linen. Now I've got it out. I've got to get it back in. Okay, where is this garden gate? Is that it? No. So close. Is that it? No, it's a windmill. These. I should have folded it so I could see it, shouldn't I? Like the pink one. No. Oh, here it is. Haha, is it a garden gate? It is something. It's a lantern. That's what I wanted. Not a garden gate. Look at that. Beautiful. I'm going to use that. That'll give me something different. Where was I up to? About here. But when you see doilies that are different, grab them because they are treasures. Truly, truly treasures. Is this the garden gate? But it's baskets. No, I don't want you to see it. You can imagine what these are going to look like by the end of this endeavour. All of those are going away. Let's have a look at. And I also have these little ladies at the bottom of an apron or two. So let's check out what we got. Got my lady there. There's the garden. That's what I was looking for. There it is there. It was there the whole time. The little garden arch. Look. And it's a heart. Isn't that divine? I don't think I've got room for this whole piece on this panel. So I'm going to keep this and put it on the next panel as a whole piece like that because it needs to be seen all together. I am going to cut up. I quite like her. You up. I'm kind of saving anything blue and white for my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Volume 8. That's a bit nebulous, that one. Oh, she's walking one way then the other. Not enough. And look at the edge of that. Isn't that divine? Look at that. I'm going to use the heart on the edge. Some of those. Show me the Dutch lady. Okay, she's gorgeous, but not for this. So many quilts I want to make. Now I want to make a Dutch quilt. My blue and white one will be quite Dutch. So, no, that's a no. This is a yes. So, look how beautiful this is. Look at that. The same pattern both ends. So, I love the bluebirds and I love the lantern. So I'm going to, I know, are you ready? Take a deep breath. So just drop my lace. Take a deep breath. Going in. I'm just going to cut it off. Just like that. Beautiful. Just, I love this colour linen in a doily too. Bluebirds. Here's Sarah. She loves bluebirds. Okay, so how am I going to use you? I'm going to cut myself a whack of this just because I love the texture and I love the feel. I don't think I necessarily want a corner, do I? Is there I need a corner? Maybe. No, I'm just going to cut a straight bit. Again, no idea what I'm doing, just going to cut a piece and then work with it. Once you cut it, it's like this massive relief, like done. It's cut now, I can use it. This is beautiful as well. I'll just see. I don't want any of that. Cut that, and I'm going to cut. Probably this is the brightest. Oh, that one. I love how that is just faded and dirty and spotty and rusty. Look at you. I cut it strangely. Almost like a bracket, isn't it? You could put a word in between those, like a bookend. There's my little dog. Hey, Mop Mop. So 1, 2, 3. This lady, I like her, so I'm just going to follow the line of that little bit of floral. Of course, this is how I go out into my garden in my petticoats. On this. So I'm going to cut it as 3 separate things so that I can put them where I want. So again, I'm not measuring, I'm just going to do it by eye. I love this type of linen because it frays beautifully. And I love the colour, just naturally aged. Again, not trying to be a circle or anything, I just want it to be done. And it's a fabulous lantern. And I will keep this little uppy tony bit so I can make it look like it's hanging off that. Oh, what did you do today? I went to work today. I'm a teacher. So I went back with my little people today. School has just gone back after 2 weeks holiday here in Queensland. So we now have the joy of dealing with children who've been on devices for 2 weeks. And if you're a teacher, you know what I'm talking about. But I'm very lucky. I love my crew of kids. So I'm trying to get back down here every afternoon now that everything's settled. Everybody's okay. Some family things earlier in the year, but everyone's okay. My dad died and my daughter had a little girl who was in neonatal ICU for a while, but everyone's good. Everyone's home safe now. And we are back into a rhythm again, be it without my dad though. But, so now something I have learned is don't store your pieces on your work because you'll just won't be able to see them. Look how gorgeous you are. So at the moment it looks like a very clean line, but once it's in and I've got other things coming off it and I kind of just destroy it a little bit, it will just blend and it will just look like it's been wherever I hang it forever. And I don't worry about scale or anything like that in this type of work. It doesn't matter, like if I hung this off the house and it's the wrong scale, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter, mate. I'm thinking, let's have a look. I don't want that to come out of something. You know what I mean? Like tuck in that side, come out. And because all my pins are this way, when I want to pull this close to me, I can just roll it like that. See? Very easy. I like. What if I went here? Under one and not the other. On top of one. About that. Top, I think. Let's pin that on and have a look. And a great way to see if you're happy with something is actually look through your phone or take a photo. Because for some reason, you know, design issues are so much easier to see. I don't know why that is. Through a photo, in a photo or through your phone. Quite often I'll be struggling to get something right and then take a photo and it's really obvious pretty much straight away. I like how this is all bumpy in the pink. But I was going to iron it, didn't you? How does that look? Now I am going to keep the bluebirds and the thing together because I think that just looks so lovely. I might do them though. This way. So now that I'm looking at that, it's got too much background. Once you pop it in place, you can see, okay, I just need to, again, I don't want it to be neat. I don't want it to be perfectly cut out. It's not needle turn applique. I'm just going to get rid of a lot of the cream around it. There we go, much better. It's much more effective now. And this little guy, again, because he's a paler colour, isn't he gorgeous? I'm really motivated to finish this now because I really want to start my Roxy Journal of Stitchery Volume 8 slow stitch quilt. As you know, I like slow stitch quilts. He needs to be a bit lower like that. What do you think? Kind of flying past the house. Yes, done. Again, don't overthink it. Oh, that is the world's bluntest pin. You can see what I mean by putting lots of stuff on this time around. This is probably the layer that takes the most time because there's a lot of little stitching to do. The big stitching is fast, the little stitching is very slow. He's a bit lost, which sometimes I don't mind. What I might do is when I stitch him on, I might just stitch might even stitch in red round and round around him, just to make him pop out a bit because I like him there. He's good there. Right, where am I up to? My little Crinley, my little lady, my puppy. Again, I don't like everything all lined up too much, so I might just tuck up there, my dear, as she does. Where am I up to? I'm up to this little bit of blue and white. So I'm looking now just at the blue on the page on my panel. I've kind of got a blue here, here and here. So I'm thinking that I need some blue over here. See how immediately that makes it better? So I'm just literally going to tuck you under just like that. Oh, what side do I want? I do like that side. I'm just going to make it a bit straighter so it tucks. Literally just going to tuck you under, overlap you a little bit. I'll have a good overlap. Go up under that piece of vintage green bias binding. You can see now that makes it just works. And sometimes you don't know why, and then you'll realize you've got an imbalance somewhere. Okay. How's it going? Does it look pretty crazy? I'm nowhere near finished. So we have background, we have second layer of different bits and some bits of interest. And then we have, I didn't even manage to catch that when I pinned it. Then we have this third layer, which is the layer of lots of stuff. And then the last layer will be using stitching and some final bits and pieces just to fix any design problems and to stitch around or highlight any areas or any particular image or anything that I want to highlight. So I'm probably about halfway done with this second layer, I think, just to give you an idea of how ridiculous I am. Now, these are hearts. See, heart there. I quite like them always upside down, straight. I can't go any straighter without cutting off the end of this, which I quite want. So that's a bit annoying, but let's have a look. I won't use two. I'll use one because two never works. Let's see where I want it. And again, this is quite a big piece of white, cream, vacant colour. So I don't have any down here. I have this little bit left. And these flowers here will get lots of stitching, so there'll be a lot more colour here. there. Just like that. Voila. My butterfly is just in the right place. Thinking. Well, alternatively, he fits there very well, doesn't he? I think that's better. That looks very central to this panel. It's in the middle, but this is the middle panel of the bottom row of 3, so that won't matter. That won't look out of place. You know what I mean? This was just a panel on its own. I wouldn't put something in the middle like that because then I would have to really cut with symmetry throughout the whole piece, which clearly I don't have. Okay, that's good. Lots and lots of layers. And see how my little dog's just disappeared? There he is. And then every now and then you go, oh, there he is. There's Roger. All right, what else do I have? I have some flower sack. I've kind of used most of the really good bit. I'm not going to use that. That's not working for me. Now look at me. I'm going to go and do a quick tidy up at the end of my table. I don't think that I necessarily want a lot more of this type of edging on this piece, she says. I do want something here, like a vertical, sorry, horizontal something. I'm going to get my box of trim down and have a look. But look at me, I'm putting everything away. Well, actually, I'm just shoving it all in one basket, but that's, that's away-ish. Let's just make those out of the way. Do a quick dump run. Don't want them at all. Bigger pieces of material, cut doily edges. So up here on my baskets, which hang up, these are all my cut doily edges. Look at that. So I do not throw a single thing away. So if I'm looking for an edge, this is where I come. This is the sort of edge I might want, actually, rather than the doily one. I might actually cut out that bit of cut work, if that makes sense. And then pop you back up here. I'm going to pop this little girl away. I don't want her for this one, and I don't want my Dutch girl. So they can go back in the box. Oh, sorry, I just hit my microphone. This little guy is gorgeous, but I don't like it's machine made, and I don't know that that's going to work for me in this piece. So I'm going to pop it aside for now. Right, bits for later. Bits for later. These are all bits for later. I do have this. Now it's dark. It's dark. It's dark. See how immediately you put that on, your eyes drawn to that, this, and then the dark colors up here. I'm not sure if I need that. But let's just have a little look. If I pop it on this way and move it up there, I probably need to have a look through the camera just to see whether or not I need that on there. See how we're going. I'm just going to pause you there, and I'm going to pop out and do a few jobs and come back.